We live in a world that has made failure feel unbearable, not because failure changed or got worse, but because we built this entire media landscape where failure is basically invisible. You can scroll for hours and hours and you'll never see anyone in the process of being bad at something. Everyone already has it figured out. Everyone you watch is already better than you. So when you try something new and you're not good yet, it feels like you're already really behind. So what's the point of even trying in the first place? And I don't think that feeling came from nowhere. I think we were taught it. In school, trying doesn't actually matter. There isn't some extra reward for spending more time studying, and assignments and exams are only turned in once. By structuring learning this way, we are taught that success depends on being good at whatever you're learning from the very start. But this mindset is also solidified socially within school. Telling somebody that you studied an entire week for your test doesn't exactly make you cool. In fact, it usually has the opposite effect. Maybe they'll call you a tryhard for it, or in my case, they called me whitewashed. But if you get a high score on a test, the coolest thing you can say after is that you didn't have to study for it. And the same line of reasoning works if you did poorly on a test. You didn't have to study. No matter what, the coolest thing you can say is that you didn't have to study. School doesn't teach us the value of trying. It only teaches us the value of success. But at the same time, when we are kids, we try so many different things. Learning how to play an instrument is inherently a task where you have to keep on trying. It's actually considered embarrassing not to practice. If you don't practice, you won't know the song, you'll hit the wrong notes, and you'll make everything sound worse. The same goes for sports as well. You're literally required to attend practice every day of the regular season as well as most of the off season. Coaches punish you for not attending practice. People literally get trainers to practice their technique. Practice is such a central aspect of so many things we do as kids. And even in the hobbies that we have today, trying is a central aspect. You can't learn how to draw if you never draw. You can't learn a new language if you never try to speak another language. School and work remain the pillar for most people of where trying occurs. But in both of these, failure is seen as extremely bad, and trying is not seen as too enticing. We can look to The Office as an example of this, specifically Dwight and Jim. Dwight is extremely dedicated to his job, whereas Jim is kind of a slacker. But the show makes Jim seem so much cooler.
Right now, this is just a job. If I advance any higher in this company, then this would be my career. And, well, if this were my career, I'd have to throw myself in front of a train.
But he ends up being offered more promotions and more opportunities than Dwight, who works tirelessly for advancement throughout the entire show. Jim's coolness comes from the fact that he has more raw sales talent and is still better than someone who has to work super hard. Who would want to have to put in a bunch of work at their job and still not be better? We want to be Jim, not Dwight. And this is part of the problem, because when we internalize that trying makes us look ridiculous, we start to actively try to hide any evidence that we tried at all. So it starts to seem like, for this, we can look to one of my favorite newer YouTubers, David Achu. We can see right here that he has uploaded 134 videos. But if we scroll on his channel, we'll only find that he has uploaded 55 for public viewing. Less than half of his videos can still be viewed by us. And I'm not saying he's wrong for this. I don't have all my videos on my channel either. My point is, if I want to see a full timeline of how much he improved, I can't. I'm only able to see what he has deemed successful or wants to leave up on his channel. I can't see a video that flopped and got 10 views. If I look at his channel now, it just looks like he has always been successful. Even though one of his videos is really about being a small creator. It just looks like he has always been a YouTuber, and his journey of someone who's just trying to be one is gone. And this type of journey is absent in most media that we consume. Every Spider-Man, this is the key detail about how a nerd, who likely was not fighting anyone, became this acrobat who can fight crime and put criminals back in prisons. Spider-Man Homecoming evades any actual representation of Peter Parker first starting to use his powers. He is already just Spider-Man, and we kind of see a compilation of when he first starts, but we never actually see him first starting to try to be Spider-Man. Into the Spider-Verse kind of tries to depict Miles trying, but it's more comedic than anything. And the other Spider-Man kind of are shown trying to use their powers, but they're all magically able to just start fighting crime. And don't get me wrong, I love Spider-Man, but I chose Peter Parker because he's as close to an actual representation of us in a superhero that we can get. He's an awkward teenage nerd who has to deal with relationship issues, problems with work, and he also has to go to school. But we only really see him fail on these really large scale that we can't really relate to. And I get why they don't show this. It wouldn't really make for a good movie or television show to show Peter Parker failing every time. We want to see him win. We don't want to see every time he fails. We don't want to see how long he had to train for. That would be really boring. This is also kind of why we rarely see any unsuccessful attempts in social media either. We want to watch the people who are already successful. We would much rather watch a video with 1 million views rather than one with just 10. Having more views or subscribers gives us a sense of verification to how good a video might be. If I'm looking for a how-to video, I'm not looking for someone who's like, yo, what's up guys? Today we're going to show you how to fix a computer. But also, I've never touched a computer in my life, and I don't even know how to fix computers, but watch this video and we'll figure it out together. No, a video like that probably wouldn't have any views, so we probably wouldn't see it anyways. Most algorithms work to show you the videos with the most views, the people with the most subscribers, so we rarely see anybody in the process of getting better. So when we try to do something new and we don't get the same results that we see everyone else get so easily, it's a little embarrassing. What's taking you so long to do what everyone else can do so easily already? We resort to hiding when we do try something new. We don't want everybody to see our failures because no matter what we tell ourselves, we all have an underlying. I'm sure you guys have all seen some video of somebody failing really badly at something. So right now, let's focus on gym fail videos. Oh wow, look at them not knowing what to do and doing things wrong. But imagine being one of these people. It must be a pretty bad feeling to see yourself in one of these videos. Maybe they have to take up a lot of time to even work up the courage to go to the gym in the first place. But after seeing themselves in one of these videos, they probably wouldn't want to go again. Most of us will hopefully never be in one of these compilation videos, but we all have this fear on some sort of level. Remember a few years back when people would fall, but then they would start doing push-ups to make themselves look cool? Our first instinct when we fail is to see who else saw us. And if we are that desperate to try to cover up an accidental fall in front of 3 strangers on the sidewalk, imagine how terrifying it must be to fail purposefully in front of the entire internet. It's a little embarrassing to script, edit, and film for hours, tell people, oh, I can't hang out, I have to make my video, and then you post it and it gets 10 views. Nobody's going to take my YouTube career seriously if I'm only getting 10 views. They'll just think I have a silly hobby with really, really funny, amazing YouTube videos that don't get any views. That's not legit. And for so long, I let this mindset kind of stop me. And this is why the saying, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, isn't always true. In reality, if I had a basketball and I just left it sitting there on the ground, no one would tell me that I'm missing my shots. I'm not taking any. Maybe I'm really good, maybe I'm really bad, but you can't tell as long as that basketball sits there. By not posting any videos, I could imagine how much success I would get if I ever did post one. Only by posting did I have to confront the fact that maybe I wasn't as good at making videos as I thought. And that example is niche. Not everyone posts videos, but even just trying to do something new can seem daunting because we can be bombarded by how much success others have already found doing the exact thing that you want to do. You can go on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and find thousands of videos of people doing whatever your goal for yourself might be. Before, we only had the representation of the people around us, but now we have concrete evidence that everyone but you can do the thing you want to do. Trying to do something new always sorts of feels like this game of catch-up. You can see how many people can already do the thing you want to do, and you know you can't. And it can be overwhelming. It can make you feel like you shouldn't even try to begin with. I don't know how to whistle, but I've convinced myself if I actually tried, I would be the best whistler in the world. I've created an imagined reality where I can't fail because I'm not actively trying. And we used to only have the option to sit in the failure of not being able to do something, or imagine the possibilities that would happen if we actually did do it. But now we have a way to give ourselves. When I was a kid, if I got stuck on a level, I had 2 options. I could continue trying over and over to beat that level, or I could try to find the guide. And even at my little kid age, I wanted to beat it on my own. If I looked at the guide, I just got to the desired end result. I didn't have the journey and experiences of having all the errors along the way and trying to figure it out on my own. And this is exactly what AI does. It robs us of the experience of having these failures and trials. It just gives us the desired end result.
Whoa.
What's that?
I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys,
Nina just built an app.
This is Base 44, and it presents itself as a company that allows you to build anything of your imagination. But it's not actually you that's building anything. This is exactly what AI does in so many different facets. It robs us of the experience of actually having to go through trials. Whenever I see an AI generated flyer, it makes me a little sad. Flyers are pretty simple to make, but at least they challenge us to be at least a little creative. We have to figure out the wording, adjust the text, maybe add a footer or two, and usually we have to draft it multiple times. We have to go through the journey of figuring out how to make a flyer, and maybe we'll learn that we're creative in the process. But AI robs us of that. If someone doesn't want to try, they could just type in a sentence and AI will spit out a completed flyer. They can tell themselves, I made the flyer today, but really they just serve to reach their end goal. They didn't have to go through the process of making a flyer. They didn't have to sit and wonder where to go next. We're actively avoiding risk at this point. We don't want to risk failure. And it goes further than just AI slop. It's happening at the absolute highest level of media. No one wants to take a gamble on an original idea anymore. Pixar and Disney have created so many original classics, but now they have downgraded to just creating mostly live-action remakes and sequels. Cars 4, Toy Story 5, Incredibles 3, live-action Moana. All of these series basically started 15 years ago, but they are just now getting sequels because original films have started to seem more like a risk. Zootopia, for example, we'll only talk about the first one since the second one is still relatively new. But in the first movie, Judy and Nick, an unlikely duo, have to team up to solve a crime with time constraints. And they have to settle their differences along the way. But then there ends up being a huge plot twist, and they eventually end up being successful in the end. I just spoiled the second movie too, because they have the same exact plot. Society has placed this overwhelming emphasis on success, and by doing so, they removed what it means to try out of the equation entirely. So, life would be so easy if I never had to fail. But if everyone was perfect at everything, would anything actually matter?
And when everyone's super, no one will be.
This is my favorite quote from The Incredibles. If something becomes a quality that everyone has, it's not special anymore. The fact that everyone has to work to actually become good at something is what makes being good at that thing actually matter. All my hobbies, I've had to improve at them. If everything was super easy, they wouldn't be as fun. Video games are literally fun because they're challenging. The struggle is what makes a win actually matter. David Achu was once a dreamer, hoping to get millions of views. Even if all his videos aren't up, he has still made 134 videos, the majority of which were made before he found success. He kept on trying despite failing failure. When was the last time you actually laughed at someone for messing up? Hopefully not recently, because that's really mean. You're mean. But my point is, most people aren't going to actually laugh at you. Maybe they'll silently judge you, but that's no reason for you to stop. You should just do it. Try something new. But more importantly, you can help yourself grow if you fail. If you never fail, you'll never grow. So all you have to do is try. You can be that person that you always imagine. Comment something down below that you've always wanted to be able to do and actually try it. And leave a like on this video, hit that hype button, I think there's a hype button somewhere, and hit that subscriber notification bell and the subscribe button. And I'll catch you guys next time.